Cause we're deep, going deep, Chad and JT.
Just got started.
Are you getting something?
Just got my tea.
All right. I think we can start it up. Yeah, we got the In-N-Out logo.
I like it, man.
We might have some legal trouble with that, but
You might.
we're sticking to it as long as we can.
Yeah, it might come after.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
But it's so inviting. I mean, it's
It
such
is,
a good
man.
logo.
I know.
All right, guys. What up? Welcome to the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. My name is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. I got my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
What up, Stokers? Boom, clap.
And we are here with actor, producer, Frank Grillo. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, man, thank you for having me.
Frank, you dropped kind of a bomb at the beginning of our pre-interview chat. You said that you didn't like Venice, California anymore, or as much.
No, I don't. I used to live there for a long time.
And what was your reasoning again?
Scooters, man. Scooters.
You don't like
In
the
a word,
scooters.
man, scooters and the people who ride them.
Oh, the riders
Oh,
too.
man, I can't stand them.
Yeah. What is
First, it
about?
used to be the Prius as a car.
I drive one,
You do, man?
and I ride scooters all
Can
the
you curse
time.
on this thing?
You can
Yeah,
curse.
yeah,
Well, fucking Priuses went up my ass in the beginning, and Prius owners.
yeah.
And now it's scooters, man.
What is it about Prius owners that you don't like?
It's just, they're kind of douchey.
No, I hear you, man.
They kind of are, man.
My buddy Jesse, when they first came out, we were in San Francisco during
You
college.
too, Chad?
What's up?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
cause beef between us.
No,
but
I don't want to
there-
cause beef.
No,
No,
we should explore it.
It's
good
all
stuff.
good. It's all
Yeah.
good.
I'm a terrible, cynical human being, so, you know,
No.
don't.
Have Chad turn?
No, I want to rotate Frank's mic more towards your face.
Oh, just be on mic a little bit more.
Yeah,
Thank you.
gotcha.
Yeah, so this Prius was driving by. My buddy Jesse just threw an In-N-Out shake right at it.
And really?
He was beefing with him that hard. Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was going to make the Prius people look like the villain.
No. I was
This
just
sounds
saying,
they're
like,
being persecuted.
it's just my buddy going after a Prius.
It's
Right.
I don't know what it is about the Prius. I don't know.
It's the shape.
But you know what? Listen, it's all in the past now because the scooter is the new
But
Prius.
we're huge scooter devotees.
You are,
yeah,
man?
We give city council speeches where we fight
Why don't
for
you buy a
different causes.
fucking motorcycle?
I don't know. That just seems
I
like
have motorcycles. I ride motorcycles.
if they had. I respect that. That's cool. It sounds like you're sexy on your motorcycle. But I'm
I
just
am
saying.
sexy. on my motorcycle.
But I think the thing that's nice about the scooters is you don't have to own it, so I don't have to worry about the upkeep.
You know, it's just
Although now
that
I have
what
a scooter
happens
'cause
is the
Ellen's sending
scooter
it.
guy and gal
Mm-hmm.
on the scooter just thinks that, you know, it's vacation wherever they are and they could do whatever they like and they don't have to adhere to the rules and the regulations of what other motor vehicleists have to.
I can
Right.
tell you, as a scooter rider, I 100% feel that way when I'm on a scooter.
You do,
I do
right?
feel like I'm on vacation.
Right,
I need
man.
the break though. I need the vacation.
No, you don't, man.
I need
you have
it,
a
brother.
podcast.
Brother, I need the vacation.
I mean, when
Yeah.
you're not
I'm telling
selling
you.
bonds at Goldman Sachs, man.
But you did that, right?
For a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta fly on the sidewalk sometimes. Yeah.
No, it's, you know what, it's, listen, when there was a couple of them, it was cool. It was like, all right, another mode of transportation
Right.
for the young and the unemployed. But now I see, like, you know, these jerky guys my age, you know, with no helmets, like doing jumps. It's
Right.
just not cool. And then they
Guys
leave
your
them
age,
all
yeah.
over the streets.
Yeah.
And there's like 60 different companies now. Like, it used to be one company.
Yeah, it is a little oversaturated.
Right? It's,
Yeah.
it's just made a mess of
But I got to
Venice.
tell you, when I'm like having a hard day and I'm stressed out with all the different
Brother,
activities and we're
look at me.
Okay.
What fucking stress do you possibly have?
I mean, definitely when it
You have a
comes.
family?
No,
You have kids?
I'm gonna have a family. I don't have kids.
You have kids? You
No.
don't have kids?
No.
You own a house?
No,
What stress do you have?
dude, I'm telling you, when
You
I'm
dying of a disease that I don't know of?
I'm worried about my.
Bro, I
sometimes
wanna-
I'm worried about that. I
He
might
al-
be.
he always
might
Because you
says
have
not.
that.
nothing else to worry about.
That could be it. But I think also, I worry about the podcast. I worry about my
You know, I
artistic
want to hug
endeavors.
you. I want to hug you.
I'll
and
take
then
a
I want to
hug.
school you. And then I want
Take
you
me to
have a
school.
great life.
This is why I wanted you on, Grillo.
You
I
are
want
the
you to
guy
school
who
me.
created an occupation for himself.
That's true. I feel good about that.
Right,
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
Do you
you-
get anxiety?
No. Yes.
Well, he lives-
Yeah, I got kids. I got wives. I got fucking a business. I'm trying to, do things with my life before I die, which I feel like it's happening soon.
I relate to that
And
part.
that's a lot of
Yeah.
stress. I wake up 3 o'clock every morning, like, with the problem of the white man.
Right. How do you deal with the stress?
I take Xanax like everybody else.
No, not all
Have
the
you
time.
tried
though.
No,
the
I
scooter?
train.
Yeah.
I train.
There it is.
Have I tried what?
The scooter.
I don't ride anything called a scooter. Scooter.
Everyone who rides a scooter is
Yeah,
named
he's called
Scooter.
Scooter.
Nice. I like that. I don't mind that.
I would like to see you on a scooter. I think that's a funny
Never.
image.
No,
Oh,
it's
dude.
not happening. Ever. Not ever. I'll walk on my
Yeah.
knees before I get on one of those things.
But you train like 3 hours a day. Is
Yeah,
that right?
sometimes, more.
I did Muay Thai today.
You did?
Yeah, at King's MMA.
You did?
Yeah, I love it.
All right. How
I
long you
boxed
been-
before that
How
for
long?
a couple years.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're in the same school.
We're the same dude, I'm telling
We
you,
are
baby.
exactly
Yeah,
the
I'm on your
same, man.
trajectory.
All right,
I'm
all
gonna look a
right.
little better doing
I'm
it.
going to get you off that scooter and you'll be fine.
I don't do Muay Thai, but
You rock climb.
I rock climb. I
Love rock
surf. I
climb.
surf and rock climb.
Much respect for rock climbing.
Rock climb. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love. Yeah, it's like you challenge your mind, your body,
It's beautiful.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta, and like boxing and fighting, you have to be focused
Very focused.
on
Yeah.
nothing but what you're doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can die.
And
Yeah.
it's nice to disconnect from like
It is.
from everything else, right?
It is. You have to do things that encompass all of your concentration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And where the things that you're valuing don't matter in
Right.
that environment.
And really,
yeah.
the things we value don't matter.
Right.
Unless it's like I said, you have kids, like you'll realize when you have kids, okay, it's about the kids. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, what?
Well, how old are your kids?
11, 15, and 22.
Oh, cool.
And so did your career has kind of exploded like 12 years ago?
Like 10 years. I don't know
Yeah.
about exploded. I mean, Brad Pitt's career exploded, but no,
Right.
I've been on a certainly an upward.
Relative to most people.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
all about who
Yeah.
you're comparing
Yeah,
yourself
yep,
to.
you're exactly
Yeah.
right. And so yeah, it's been good. But it's hard. Look.
But was the kids a motivator?
No. You know what's a motivator to me is not failing.
Right.
Yeah.
So not giving up. It's simple. Just don't stop.
You competitive?
Yeah, very competitive.
I like that you acknowledge it.
Yeah, I am. I don't like to lose. Like
Yeah.
even now, like my agent will call and say, "Hey, they love you, but they like this guy and they think this guy." I'm like, "That guy.
You're like, let me
Yeah.
box
he
them.
sucks.
Yeah.
He's a shitty actor. What do you want that guy for?" Well, whatever.
And you're a good actor.
Yeah, man. I mean, I try to be good at everything I do. I work very hard at everything I do. I try
like
not
that.
to do too much.
What are you bad at?
I don't know.
You don't know? Can't think of one thing?
I don't really do anything that I'm bad at for that reason.
You give it up.
Yeah. I'm bad at baseball.
Okay.
Really?
I was a shitty baseball player.
I just couldn't make
I
contact?
just was afraid of the ball.
I just like picturing you bad
Really?
at because you look so confident.
I was.
Yeah.
I was afraid of that little white
Oh,
ball.
interesting.
It is
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple times I played Little League, but a couple times the ball popped up and hit me in the face. Like I don't like this.
What sports do you play?
I played in school.
Yeah.
I played football. I was primarily a wrestler
Okay.
and lacrosse.
Okay.
So things that you could hit people.
Contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now I just I box every day and I do some jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai but primarily boxing.
Who'd you like more out of the football and the lacrosse guys?
It was the same guys.
Oh, okay.
All the same guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I played lacrosse with the hockey guys. I like we won on the thirds team, like that's like the
Right.
freshman team.
Right.
But they were all my buddies, the varsity hockey guys, and they
Yeah.
would just destroy kids.
Yeah,
It was.
man.
I would
It's
I
a
would kind of
great-
just watch.
It's a great.
It's very enjoyable. My buddy
it's
Pete.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, they would just toast. Some
Yeah. By the way, smart guys too. They all went on to like Ivy
Right.
League schools. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like my jock friends. They're all
Yeah,
pretty well rounded.
all my friends that
Yeah.
were into like people say, oh, the jocks. I mean, the smartest kids in the school.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, high performers typically can do
Yeah.
it across disciplines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wrestlers. Some of my wrestling friends were like the smartest guys.
Oh yeah.
Where do you box at now?
I box at a couple of places. I box at Pete. My boy Pete Berg, the director. Pete Berg
sure.
owns Churchill Boxing in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
So I box there 3 days a week with my buddy Chris Van Heerden, who's a pro. And then I box at Fortune Boxing with Justin Fortune and Jose Navarro. Justin Fortune trains Manny Pacquiao.
Right.
Jose Navarro was an Olympian. So it's a good group of different guys.
Did you watch Pete Berg's doc about Freddie Roach?
Yes,
the one
I
that
did.
was on HBO.
I did. It was great.
That was incredible. The way
Yeah.
he shot that was
Pete's
just
great.
phenomenal.
Pete's, I see Pete every day. We joke around.
What's he
over.
like? He seems like an animal.
He is an animal in the best of ways. And listen, Pete's happiest when he's in the gym.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, he dated Whitney Cummings, and I didn't.
Did
know,
he?
Yeah, and I
I
didn't
know
she was-
Whitney.
I didn't know she was dating him, but I would be doing sets, like open mic sets, and then she would come on,
Right.
for the real show, and she'd be talking about her jock alpha male boyfriend and like how boorish he was, and then I later found out it was Pete Berg.
He
the whole
is.
time.
He
Yeah.
he is. He's a thug. You know, and he really is.
Smart thug.
He's
Yeah.
a smart thug, and let me tell you, he's very. Listen, he's philosophical. He's intelligent. He's incredibly well read, and he's curious.
And he wants to make stuff.
He wants
Yeah.
to make stuff, and he wants to break stuff too.
Yeah, nice.
He'll get in. The other day he got in in the ring with me, and we were moving around, and he doesn't mind getting punched in the face.
Nice.
No, I think it can be refreshing. It wakes you up
Wakes
sometimes.
you up.
To a degree.
It's like
if you get
Fight
hit
Club.
too hard.
It's like Fight Club.
Yeah.
Right? You're in this IKEA world, and what's better than getting punched in the face to wake
It's
up?
real.
It's real. It's truthful.
I haven't fought much. I've been like a couple fights, wrestled with my brothers, but every time I do, you have like a feeling of euphoria.
You do, and then you're
afterwards.
exhausted.
Yeah.
It's the most tiring thing in the
because
world.
when the reptilian brain kicks in,
Yeah.
and all your endorphins and everything lets go, and you're kind of fight or flight, and then when
Yeah.
it's over, you're shaking. Your nervous
Right.
system is affected.
I actually
by
feel
it.
like that right now.
You do?
My central nervous system is firing right now.
Well,
My adrenaline's pumping.
After like stand up, the adrenaline's pumping. People try to talk to you. I'm like, I can't talk
It's,
right now.
or doing theater. It's the same
Right,
thing.
exactly,
when you're
yeah.
done, you walk off stage. You're like, people are like, "Hey, what you?" And it's like, get the fuck away.
yeah.
Dude, that's exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, so how was that? I'm like,
I don't know.
I can't
Leave me
talk.
alone. Get
yeah,
away
yeah,
from
yeah.
me. I hate you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in my car and sit.
You know, so you're like a very like masculine appearing actor, and you get casted in a lot of like all-time great kind of masculine
Hyper
movies.
masculine things.
But the
yeah.
thing that I love about your acting is I think you're actually like some of your best scenes are the stuff that I've gravitated to the most is when you subvert that, like when you get real
Right.
gentle and sensitive,
right,
like
which is what I am.
yeah, because like in The Gray when you like decide to like
that's-
stop escaping or
Right.
trying to survive,
Right.
like that scene, or in like Kingdom in the pilot when you're being nice to the Robbie character because you took his lady,
Right.
But like you wouldn't expect that from your character in either situation.
Oh, that's great. It's interesting because in Hollywood, if you're not Brad Pitt, you do tend to be typecast a bit, and there's that thing that I do, which is the kind of hyper masculine guy that maybe is a little conflicted and can have moments like that.
Yeah.
And so they give you
it's
a
just
little,
moment, but you always
Yeah.
have them.
Right. And so, but I grew up a very kind of shy, insecure kid.
Did you cry a lot?
I did cry. I still cry. a
Me
lot.
too,
I mean,
yeah.
when my kids do things, I have to walk away because I cry very easily, and I get my feelings hurt very easily. So like when I'll get angry when my feelings get hurt because I feel like I have to defend myself, but they get hurt. Like I'm hypersensitive.
I
Yeah.
saw that in Point Blank too.
Yeah,
With your brother.
With my brother,
And then
yeah.
like the last scene, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sort of like gentleness comes through. It's like in your eyes.
You know,
Yeah.
I've been a father for most of my adult life. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have a son who's 22, and you know, when you have kids, you tend to shed all that nonsense, and you need to be available emotionally for these children. You know.
Yeah.
And so it really opens you up as a human being. It's the greatest thing, especially as a man. So it's easy to be tough guy. Like, you know, I can do that. But what I really am is daddy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, and the Purge too. Like, I mean, You see
Yeah,
that
I'm
often.
daddy. I'm daddy.
Right. Yeah.
You know, the greatest joy I have is picking up my kids from school when they get in the car and they say, "Hey, daddy."
Yeah.
I just like hearing the word.
Yeah.
So what's a role you would like love to play, but you think would just be like a little bit outside of how people think about you?
That's a great question. You know, there are roles. Look, I look at McConaughey in like the Dallas Buyers Club. And
Right.
I'm like, that's a beautiful role. That's a beautiful performance.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to do. I love to play with my body. So I physically would love to get myself to a place where, you know, I don't look like me, and then to kind of go on that journey of that character, because listen, to me that's who I am more than the kind of Stallone-esque character
Right.
that I tend to kind of play.
Yeah.
You know, but
And that character is like kind of deconstructing the masculine archetype.
Yeah.
Like he starts off and gets into trouble because he's living that life, and then
That's
throughout
right.
the movie he's kind of
right.
gets softened to the rest of people.
And you know, I think that's to me far more interesting as an actor than it is to do a lot of the stuff that, look, I love and I appreciate. I'm grateful for the opportunities, and I got to make the best of it. But there are other things that I would certainly like to do that it just doesn't come my way.
Would that affect you, sort of having to change your body? Like it's.
Oh, it changes
like,
your behavior immediately.
Yeah.
It changes your behavior immediately. Whenever you change your body, your behavior changes. years.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
but-
is why guys like, you see some
Joaquin or
of the
something.
Joaquin
Yeah.
and Bale tends
Yeah.
to play with his weight. De Niro did it early on. It changes your behavior, changes your DNA.
Yeah.
De Niro changed himself permanently because once he got heavy again in Raging Bull, he never lost.
He never lost
that because there's
And-
no dietitians back then.
And inversely,
walking you through it.
McConaughey, when he lost all that weight at his age, he never got it back.
He's
fully.
still a little gaunt.
little gaunt.
He is,
And there's
yeah.
a saying: "Be careful, don't sacrifice your face for your body."
Right.
Because when you get to a certain age and all the collagen kind of comes, you lose too much weight.
Yeah.
It's tough to get it back.
Oh, interesting.
You're like at the most jacked you've ever been.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm actually. I have a movie in the can. I hate saying that because it sounds so Hollywood. That I did with Mel
love it.
Gibson and Naomi Watts. That my partner Carnahan, who did The Great, is my partner.
Yeah.
We produced it, and I was almost a $1.90 of just. I look like it's basically Die Hard meets Groundhog Day. So I look like a superhero.
Right.
And so I trained for like 6 months, and I became like I almost look like a bodybuilder.
That's boss level?
Boss level, yeah.
I follow you on Instagram. So I
Yeah,
can see
so
the
it took me a
posts.
minute
Yeah.
to get rid of like 20 pounds of that. Yeah.
What's that workout regimen like?
Oh my God, that was training sometimes I had a trainer with me all the time, 2-3 times a day. The food was meticulous. I mean, it was crazy. It was nuts. It was hard. I don't know how guys do that. Like, for fun. Like, they want to be bodybuilders. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not fun.
I think
Yeah.
they just love the feeling of people
I guess,
looking
like
at
gawking
them
at
and
them.
marveling at them.
It's
yeah.
kind of, but how long does that last?
When you watch bodybuilders go through their posing routine, it's not masculine. It's more like art. It's like ballet
Yeah,
and
it
art
is.
kind of
It
combined.
is.
There's a
yeah.
glow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like and some guys are better at flexing than other guys.
Oh,
And
I
they-
trained at Gold's. When I was training for the movie, I trained at Gold's in Venice. And I mean, you can't believe what human beings are capable of doing to their bodies.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
The size of these people. And
Yeah.
those are the women.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they're very
It's
strong.
bananas.
It's interesting the psychology that goes into the poses.
Oh, I know.
Like I read Arnold's book, and sort of how he'd play mind games.
Right.
And
Yeah.
posing is sort of like ballet in
It
a
is,
sense, where
it
you
is.
like as you move to the next one, it's like this weird
Yeah,
flow. that you-
and it all has to do with the symmetry of the body.
Yeah, he's
and
like,
Yeah.
he thought I was done, but I had been saving my double bicep flex for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
So then he shot his wad with his double front
Yeah.
pec flex, and then I shocked him with my double back bicep.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to remember, it's a subculture, like anything else.
Yeah.
It's a subculture. So when he's talking and saying all this stuff about it, there is a group of people who understand it and get exactly what he's saying. When I look at it, I'm like, what is he talking about?
But you love. I think I've heard you in other interviews talk about how you love in acting, how it introduces you to all these subcultures.
it's
like,
amazing.
especially
I-
like MMA. Like
I love
yeah.
subcultures.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's the most interesting thing to write about is, because that's fascinating about people when they're willing to kind of remove themselves from the zeitgeist.
Be unconventional.
And be unconventional and do this thing because when you look at these bodybuilders, as amazing as they are and as hard as they work, people go, oh no, he's on steroids. I'm like, it doesn't matter what he's on. You have no idea the amount
Right.
of work that goes into getting your
Yeah.
body that way.
And he's risking a lot by taking steroids.
Oh my God.
Or she is.
And,
yeah.
and just getting that big. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, their hearts are no bigger than yours and mine. They still have to pump all that blood and carry all that oxygen to all that muscle.
yeah.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's your favorite subculture at the moment?
That's a great question. What is my favorite subculture?
D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons is not my favorite subculture. My favorite subculture, and I do consider it a subculture, is fighting.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's mine too.
Yeah,
I
it's
could
fighting.
lose myself on YouTube rabbit holes all day.
I do it all day
Yeah.
long, man. And I was a wrestler. Like I'm really into grappling and like just I go down a rabbit hole watching all the
the
files grappling and all this stuff.
Do you follow like ADCC and all
yeah,
that stuff?
it's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
these guys are Patrick. What's his name? Patrick Dempsey.
Cummings?
No, he just. But these guys they're kids, Like,
Right.
I wrestled when I was that age, and it was like it wasn't that. These
Right.
guys have evolved the sport incredibly.
Yeah, it's crazy how it still evolves. Because you'd think with some of these like,
How about jujitsu?
yeah, like it's changing. Like it was all about like Marcelo Garcia was like the
Right,
best for a while, and
right.
then John Danaher came in with like heel hooks and all this different foot stuff.
No, I mean what they
Yeah.
do now. Like I trained. This is how old I am. I started training in 1990 with Hickson Gracie on Pico Boulevard.
And for those people who don't know, Hickson's the greatest legend in
He's
jiu-jitsu
he's
history.
the great at red
He's
belt.
like the great
he is
samurai
the Bruce
sensei.
Lee of
Yeah.
of jiu-jitsu. And so I started then. Nobody knew what jiu-jitsu was. It was before a thing called the UFC existed. That's
Right.
how long ago it was. And nobody knew what it was. So it was a real subculture. And then Hickson got invited to go into the UFC, and he didn't. They put Hoist into the UFC, and so the UFC started.
Because Hoist was smaller, so they thought it would look
Yeah,
better.
and
if he
Hickson
won.
Hickson wasn't. He was doing Vale Tudos. He was going to Japan and Brazil, and it was a different thing.
Right.
And the UFC seemed a little contrived and maybe a little at the time
Like a
little
carnival.
cheesy.
Yeah.
You know, and so he was. You know, Hickson is the great Hickson.
Very
Gracie.
serious.
Yeah. So
He doesn't demean
and
himself
Hoist
and things.
went in there and he wiped it up. He won the first 2 UFCs. You know.
Yeah.
And I've become friends with him too afterwards, which is really interesting.
Well, you hosted a fight show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite place that you visited there?
Israel.
For
Oh, yeah.
Krav
Israel,
Maga?
man. It wasn't because of the Krav. I mean, the Krav was fascinating. Not my favorite. It's not. It's a martial art, but it's a different. It's defending your life. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
But what Israel for me was, I got a great understanding of what Israeli people are, and without getting political, I'm not saying which side is right or wrong, but this is a country surrounded by 23 hostile nations that are each and every one of these people, you know, have a history from the Holocaust forward of.
They got to be on their toes.
They got to be on their toes, and you know, they're defending the dirt. You know, it's
Yeah.
not about religion.
Yeah.
And it just changed my DNA. I mean, I understood, I got to know and understand a culture that I kind of, being a New Yorker and I grew up with Jews. I mean, I grew up with New York Jews, you know. It's a different thing than Israeli Jews.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I just got an incredibly great understanding and respect. I made lifelong friends there, and it was life changing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a toughness. I feel
Man,
like a
and it's
deep,
in the
deep-
men and it's in the women,
Mhm,
and you know, they're fighting for their survival. They're fighting for their existence, their place on the planet. You know, where they occupy, and then you know, there's the whole. And listen, I've been to Palestine too. I did a movie, and I was on that side of the world. And
What movie was that?
Zero Dark 30, which was on
Oh, right,
second.
yeah.
Yeah, and but I was there for 4 weeks, and I got to be friends with them. And by the way, when I trained in Israel, I went to a couple of boxing places, and I was with Palestinians, I was with Christians, I was with Jews. That's the great thing about fighting.
Yeah.
They all came together, and there was no political problems. It was just a bunch of guys fighting.
Do you find it hard as an actor too to like take stances on this stuff? Because it's like, I find for myself, even with like the small audience that we have, that I don't really, I find myself kind of reluctant to do it because I don't want to alienate some people, and I also don't feel like I know enough sometimes.
Yeah, you know what? More than
Yeah.
anything, it's good that you say that. It's like I hear a lot of actors like get on soapboxes and they talk the talk, and they have no idea really what they're talking about. It's like they've been filled in by some publicist or some assistant, and they have, you know, the crib notes, but they really don't understand the, you know. And look, I'm not a big star. I'm not a big movie star where I come on and I have a platform, but people do ask me questions, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know enough. Why am I'm in the entertainment biz. I'm an actor. I'm like,
Yeah.
I play make-believe. I make believe I have a bullet in my leg. Like, why are you asking me about, you know, the relations with, you know, China? Because I was in China? Oh,
Right.
I went to China, so therefore I know everything about
Yeah,
China.
you did a huge mega
huge
blockbuster
giant
from
movie.
China.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, it became a huge movie. But that was, you know, that's my point. People ask me about, you know, communist China. I'm like, I don't know.
But so what was that story? You did a movie, and I'm sorry, I haven't seen this one.
I did a movie called Wolf Warrior 2, which Wolf Warrior 1 was very successful in China, not like this. And my agents at CAA said, you know, they called, they want you to be the bad guy in the movie. And I'm like, well, what is this with China? And they go, well, it's this much money. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And because of the Captain America stuff, they're big fans. And, you know, it's probably no one's going to see it outside of China, but it's a lot of money, and they'll, you know, it's all first class stuff. I said, yeah, let me go do it. I've never been to China. What a great experience. It's made almost $1 billion.
And now you're the most famous American actor in China.
One of the most famous.
And you have merch there, right?
Oh yeah, man!
Oh, that's
Shirts
awesome.
and stuff. And you know, the deal. Joe Carnahan's my partner. We have a company called War Party. Our development deal came out of China. So this
Right.
company,
Really?
Starlight, great company. Sly's got a deal there too. Roland Emmerich, James Gray. They gave us an overall deal because I had a big.
James Gray?
Yeah.
Is that who financed Ad Astra and stuff like that?
I think so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. I mean, it's turned out to be a big thing.
Do you go to like?
No, please.
Do you go to like Comic Cons in China?
I
stuff
not
like
in
that?
China. I've gone to many Comic Cons, but not in China. But they invite me. But we were just in Shanghai at the Shanghai Film Festival, and it's kind of overwhelming because you know I'm just an actor here, and I go over there, and it's like people are like they're on you.
Yeah.
Like you get a feel like what it's like to be, you know,
Mega.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, which is kind of scary.
I bet.
It's nothing I want.
It sounds alienating.
Oh, it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the energy is scary.
Yeah. And for me, I'm kind of like introverted. So
Yeah.
if with that kind of energy, like you just want to retreat.
Oh, yeah. Even if
Yeah.
you're not introverted.
Right,
like,
yeah.
I can handle myself at a party. I could be good time Charlie. It's weird energy because people don't know what to do with themselves.
like creepy.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why people want to be mega famous. I don't get it. I
Yeah.
still don't get it.
What level of fame do you aspire to?
Listen, I'm happy right where I am.
Right.
I walk down the streets and people all day are like, "Hey man, dig your stuff. Hey man, I saw your show on Netflix. Hey dude, hey man, great stuff." Like, all good.
So do you like write down like these are my goals for the year? Is it more kind of like
No, I have no more goals. Like I've achieved my goals that I want to as far as my acting career. I want to do other things now. We have this production company. We have a couple movies in the works. We've made 4 movies. We have a couple TV shows we want to do. I like creating things on that level, and then still kind of exploring some acting stuff. But you know, now it's I save my money. I'm a smart guy, and you know, there's other things in life that I want to explore. Like I did the Netflix did Fight World. I didn't make any money on it. I traveled. I got to see the world.
Right.
I got to meet some amazing human beings. I got to be around fighters. I was in Thailand with Bo Cow, the greatest Muay Thai fighter.
Oh, he's amazing.
I mean, he was rubbing my neck after we
Yeah.
sparred. You know, and I was in Africa. I was in Israel. I was in Brazil. I mean, I got to be with some
he's
great
like
people.
his Instagram? You'd think he was in a boy band. Or
Oh, it's
something like
amazing.
that. Yeah,
It's amazing. And
But
he's-
then
and-
you watch him fight.
Boy, he was
and
one of the baddest guys.
The
on
power. He's not an active fighter anymore.
He still is. He's about done.
Him and Sanchire, like the two.
He's about done.
legends.
Now he's just he's a legend.
What is it you love about fighters? Like, for me, it's that they're like when I go to the gym. The thing I love about it is that everyone's competitive with each other, but then there's also a humility where everyone.
It's brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I look. I've been doing it a long time. I competed at high levels, and at the end of the day, there's nothing but respect.
Where'd you compete?
In wrestling and in jiu-jitsu, I boxed in the gloves, and so
Right.
at levels where you're fighting real guys,
Right.
It's not smoker fights and stuff. So, but at the end, and it doesn't matter what the through line is. At the end, you hug each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't care what you're saying before, because a lot of that is just a bunch of hubris.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you went through something that just this other guy did, and there's nothing but truth, right? You can't hide when you're on the mat or in the ring or in the cage. And then you got nothing but mad respect for each other, right?
Yeah, they say fighters are the most peaceful.
They are.
Because you have that like
They are.
energy within you.
Yeah.
Except for
But that-
Conor McGregor.
But he's
Yeah.
peaceful too. If you knew him
Right.
in real life,
You know?
Yeah.
I've met him. He's come and he's sparred the guy I train with, Chris Van Heerden. He came down in Santa Monica before he fought Nate Diaz, and he sparred with my guy, who's a pro boxer, and he's a humble dude. I mean, a lot of that stuff is entertainment.
He's good at marketing.
And is he too
He is.
famous now? You think like he just the level of eyes on him?
I just
like-
think he's. I just think he's expired as far as the thing that he was,
Right.
The fighter that he was.
he's got to change.
It's expired.
He's got to change whatever clown mask he's
Look
wearing.
what
a little
what
bit. Or
what
not clown
Khabib
mask, but-
did to him. What Khabib did to him on the ground exposed him in a way
Yeah.
that in MMA, you're in trouble.
Right.
I mean, it was, he obviously could not handle being down there.
But I don't know if there's many wrestlers like Khabib who are.
You don't have to be Khabib, but there's a lot of guys.
You think like Ally Quinter or someone like that could get him down?
There's a lot of great wrestlers out there.
Yeah.
Listen, McGregor had a great run.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll come back. Maybe. I mean, he's made a lot of money, but maybe he won't come back.
Who are your favorite fighters to watch, MMA or boxing?
Tony Ferguson, I love.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, I think he's probably my favorite guy to watch. My buddy Juan Archuleta, who just lost a tough one in Bellator, who fought for a belt. I love him because he's aggressive. He always comes forward. Great wrestler who's learned how
Did he
to
lose to Pitbull?
Pitbull. Yeah. But he was on like a 18 bout winning streak. I mean,
Right.
he just improved every time he fought. I love to watch him fight. Yeah, I love to watch Cowboy fight. I really do. It's always fun. There's a bunch of them that I like to watch. Yeah, I really do. I mean, I'm great friends with Rampage Jackson, so I always like to watch him fight because he's got that gigantic right hand.
Yeah.
And I think he's fighting again soon.
Do you get worried about him because he's up there?
Yeah, I
in
do
age?
get worried about him, and he's big. He's fighting big guys.
Yeah, he's fighting
when
a
those
heavyweight
guys hit
now.
each other, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of species.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, their bone density and
Oh
just
my
like
God.
the size of their
Oh,
hands.
it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like wearing the producer hat?
I love it.
Yeah.
I really do love it. I mean, it's fun because there's a lot of obstacles. So
Right.
you got to come up with a lot of tactics to get around those obstacles. And it's like a puzzle, you know.
Yeah.
What are
And-
some obstacles?
Well, listen, the way Joe and I have put movies together, a lot of it has to do with, the foreign financing and the tax credits here. And so there's a lot of moving parts that you have to kind of put together. It's like a Rubik's Cube. And if one piece falls out, you have to replace it because it all has to come together.
Do you
to
like
the thing.
pitching?
I do not, but he's great at it. Carnahan's great at it. So we go in there and he lights the room up. And then I just kind of pepper it with my stupid sarcasm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you like writing?
I don't. I've not kind of done that.
Yeah.
And I don't. Here's the thing about doing shit. You don't know if you're good at something unless you do it.
Right.
Right? And we all went to school and we all know how to write. But there's something about writing that's always kind of kept me away from it. But I don't know if I'm too anxious all the time to sit down and do anything for a period of time. If it's not like I ride dirt bikes and go box, I need to do things that are hyper physical and keep my mind
Yeah.
away from everything else.
Do you do therapy?
I do therapy,
How
and
long
I
have you been
just
doing that?
started it like a year ago.
You love it?
I love it, man.
I've been thinking about getting into
I'm
it.
going to
He
tell
loves
you,
it.
my guy is, he teaches at Stanford. He's as much of a brain scientist as he is a therapist. So there's a lot of that going on.
So it doesn't feel as like just like
Yeah,
feelings.
it's
You're like,
not
all right,
talk
there's-
therapy.
you're right.
You know, he kind
Yeah.
of, it's a little bit of
More
a
like a
science.
mechanic getting into the
Yeah,
engine.
I'm telling you, I got a movie coming out in 2 weeks called Black and Blue, a Sony movie. I'm really happy with this movie.
Netflix, right?
Yeah, no, it's all over the world. It's
Okay,
a big
sweet.
release.
Awesome.
And while I was filming that movie last year in New Orleans, I got the call that you never want to get. My sister called me and said, "Mommy died." And my mother, who was like my pal, she was only 17 years older than me, I talked to her on a Tuesday, and on Wednesday she came home and dropped dead.
Man.
And then so Sony shut the movie down for a week. I flew home. We took care of that. And my father, who had struggled with alcohol his whole life, drank himself to death 3 weeks later.
Wow.
When did this happen?
I'm sorry.
This happened about 8 months ago.
I'm so sorry.
man.
Yeah. So both of them were gone in a span of 4 weeks. And I didn't know how to. I wasn't dealing with it.
Yeah.
I was like in total denial. And I had to get back to work. And then I had to fly to Croatia to do another movie. So I didn't get the chance to kind of. So I'm like, I got to talk to somebody.
Right.
I got to figure this out because it's otherwise it's going to come out another way, and it's not going to be healthy for anybody.
Did it hit you at a certain point? And
You
had to
know, it's
process
just
it?
starting to.
Okay.
Because the holidays are coming, and my
Yeah.
mother, Italian mother, is
Right.
holidays
Yeah.
are like,
Yeah.
and so now I'm starting to realize I'm never going to see them again or talk to them.
Right.
And I have messages and stuff saved in my phone that I listen to periodically, and I just started as I've seen the therapist now for the past 8 months, I started to dream about them because I'm constantly talking about them. And so it's opened up this world that I just kind of went like this. And I was like, I poo-pooed therapy my whole life. I was like, no, I can deal with it myself. I'm smart. And I can deal with my this therapy thing is the coolest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you spiritual?
Of course. I mean, I am. I'm very spiritual and constantly seeking spirituality in different places. Like I was in Africa when I went to do Fight World, and they're Muslims in Senegal. They're Sufi Muslims, which are mystical. And they're very tolerant. And I started to really kind of learn about the Sufis and how they approach life and how beautifully tolerant they are. I mean, their women could be in full burqas or they could dress like us. And so I started to I'm always kind of searching out the people who kind of seem to me like it's better than Catholicism, because I grew up Catholic and it didn't work out for me.
I think I find if you're raised in it, it's harder to stick with it.
Yeah.
Wait, so your mom was 17 when she had you?
Yeah, it's almost 18.
How old was your dad?
He was 19.
And so were they just like high school sweethearts, and then they
didn't even go to high. A couple of dummies dropped out of high school and then they eloped.
Whoa! So their families were not.
Yeah,
supportive?
they're Italian immigrants. Yeah.
Oh, so they were both born in Italy?
No, my father and then my mother's, but their families are all.
Right.
Her parents were immigrants. I'm basically first and a half generation.
And you have siblings?
I have a brother and a sister.
What do they do?
My brother owns in New York City. He owns the largest speech pathology company that they supply all of the New York schools with speech pathologists.
Whoa.
And my sister and her husband own a law firm, a very successful law firm.
Well, so
cool.
everybody's successful.
Everybody's doing okay.
That's cool.
What do you attribute that to?
I think we have a big family. We have a lot of cousins. In the first generation, all went to college. They all kind of made something of themselves. Everybody kind of followed their older cousins and brothers and into school. And we grew up playing sports, and there was affluence with that. And so you followed the other people. And I think, look, my brother followed me, and my sister followed my brother, and it wasn't an option to be a bum.
So a healthy community.
Community is everything. I mean, when you look around the world and you look to where the people live the longest, it has nothing to do with food or, whether you smoke or not or how much you sleep. It's about the sense of community.
Are you trying to live long?
I was, and now I think I don't want to live that long.
What's like the target?
It's exhausting. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel
maybe
you.
80 would be good.
I think you're still going to be this
sounds
jack.
Yeah,
Dude, yeah. You got that OMS.
I want to live in a cave somewhere.
Right.
I don't know.
Take a break.
And you started in finance, right?
Literally, it's now it's become, for people who know me, more mythical than anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was, for a minute, I was a finance major. And
Where'd you go to school?
Yeah, NYU.
How'd you like NYU?
It was good.
But so you weren't with the Tisch kids?
No, those kids, those lollipops. No.
What is lollipop?
I went to real school.
What's lollipop mean?
Their parents sent them to school to learn drama.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I'll show you drama.
when you're like around those people on set now, and they're like when you see another actor trying to be tough, can you kind of tell if they're not?
Well, just another human being trying to be tough.
Right.
It's and again, I'm around professional fighters, so everybody should know their place. I never tell anybody I'm a fighter. I'm not.
Right.
I train. I'm around fighters, and this is why I'm so amazed by them, because what they do is amazing. But yeah, there's a lot of people in our town and this business that want to consider themselves tough men, and they're not. So.
But I even mentioned their acting. Can you kind of see that you're like?
Yeah, it's manufactured.
Yeah, you're like you haven't seen tough
right.
guys.
It's manufactured. I grew up in the Bronx. Pretty much everybody had to be tough.
Who's the toughest actor?
Toughest actor. I mean, as far as fighting, I got friends like my buddies that train, like Johnny Bernthal. He knows how to fight. You know.
But he grew up like
James Badge Dale. I don't know if you know who he is.
Sure,
He
yeah,
knows
they're
how
both
to-
jacked.
Yeah, he knows
But
how to
Bernthal
fight.
went to like that school in D.C. where all the politicians. Kids
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
right?
no, he went off and he fought. You know, he
Yeah,
boxed.
and he went to Harvard or something like
He's
that.
a smart guy.
Yeah.
yeah, he's a smart guy. He's
But
a
he
great
sounds like
actor.
he was like,
Yeah,
he sounds like he grew up next
roll-
door to you.
Yeah,
in the
he
Bronx.
rolls with some tough guys.
Right.
Yeah. And but, you know, there's those guys out there. It's not the big guys. It's not
Yeah.
the big guys that you think.
Who's the chillest actor?
Chillest. You know, and he's a little bit older, but Liam Neeson.
Oh yeah,
He's cool, man.
I bet. Yeah.
He's just chill.
On the Gray?
Yeah, he's just. We just became great friends. My son's name is Liam. I named him after Liam Neeson
No,
wow.
before I met Liam.
That's awesome.
Well, you need to name him after Liam Neeson.
Went to see The Crucible on Broadway. And
Wow.
my wife at the time was pregnant, and we didn't have a name. And my wife is Irish, half Irish, and I'm a father junkie. I really am, because my father was kind of not around when I was a kid. Out comes this 6'6" behemoth with this great face and this big body, and he's bellowing and Irish,
Yeah.
and I was like, we should name the kid Liam. So years later, Carnahan hires me to do The Gray, and
Right.
he calls me. I'm in New York, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm sitting in my apartment." He goes, "Come up West Side. I'm with Liam. You'll meet him, and we'll have some beers."
Yeah.
I went up and sat with him for like 5 hours. We closed the bar. I drank about 40 Guinnesses that night, and at the end of the night, I told him that I named my son after him. And as I'm telling him the story, I'm like, this is either going to sound really weird or he's going to get it.
Yeah.
And I told him, and we both were like tearing. you know?
Really?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
great. It was a great, two guys in a
That's
pub.
cool.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
What was it like on set with him? Was he sort of like?
Oh man, his wife tragically had passed away very shortly before we had done the movie. She had died in a skiing accident.
Yeah.
And so he was coming there. This was a cathartic experience for him, because he's coming off this, you can't even imagine this tragedy. He's got 2 young sons. And it was just him and 4 guys in the wilderness. Like, we were shooting.
Yeah, it was on location,
in Smithers,
right?
British Columbia. In the
Okay.
winter, it was 30 degrees below zero every night. We worked
Wow.
at nights. And so it became like this bonding, this
Yeah.
incredibly bonding, masculine, existential kind of experience. And we all
That's in the
became great
movie
friends.
too. The movie's really
It is.
tackles that existentialism
It does.
incredibly
That's what it
impactfully.
is. Yeah. I mean, I always tell you. Sometimes Joe gets down on himself, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, bro, you wrote and directed The Gray, so
Right.
shut up.
When
Yeah.
Liam was going through all of his crazy stuff because of his comments, did you send him like some support?
Oh, I talk to him every day. He gets it was taken out of that guy is the most liberal, non-judgmental, there couldn't be a less racist guy that I've known.
Right.
He just, he's 65. He comes from a place where he talks a certain way,
Right.
and people jump on him.
Yeah.
But if you notice, it never sticks to him, because he's not any of that. And so you could bait him a bit, because he does say some things that sometimes people go, "What are you saying that for?"
Right.
But it's not. There's not an ounce of venom. This guy reads poetry all day long.
Does he?
He reads. That's what he does. I
Interesting.
mean, he's the most gentle creature.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite human beings.
Yeah, he's a great actor,
Oh
too.
my God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm a big Carnahan fan. Did he direct Pride and Glory too, or
No,
he wrote that? and
He wrote
O'Connor?
it with Gav, and
Yeah.
Gav directed.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was-
super underrated.
Yeah, it was dark.
Yeah.
You know why it was underrated? Because there was no there was no levity in the movie. There was no
That's a good point. Yeah.
anything. It was bleak.
It's gritty.
It's
from
great.
first frame
and
to last
Gavin,
one.
if you know Gavin, who's a great friend of mine and an amazing director, he's an incredibly talented guy. He would not relent. I mean, this is the movie and this is the world. There is no levity. It's, aside from the little cop jokes.
Yeah.
And we're going to make it this way. And he
Yeah.
fought for it. And he did the same thing with Warrior.
Yeah.
He did. But there was a little bit more levity in Warrior. And again, underrated movie that eventually got an audience later on.
Yeah.
And became a very popular, film.
Right. Yeah, both really good movies.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah.
How do you like to be directed?
Again, I read the script 100 times. I come to work. Nobody knows anything about what I'm doing more than I do, right? So I want to be directed in a sense that I'm serving the script. I'm serving the movie. If you see there's a better way in the scene that I should be serving you, let me know, right? But other than that, most directors hire you because they know you're going to make the page better. Right? And so guys like Woody Allen, even Joe Carnahan or Gavin or Clint, they don't give you a lot of direction because you're expected.
Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, they don't, you know.
What Clint Eastwood movie?
No, I've not worked with him. I've had lots of friends. Yeah, lots of friends.
I heard he shoots the rehearsal and then you don't even know.
Oh yeah, man, and he trusts you. Listen, unless he really was wrong, 90% of making a great movie is hiring the right people.
Right.
That's it. And when you hire the right people, they come prepared.
Yeah, hands-off approach.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Unless it's really something that's specific, right?
Yeah.
And you know, it's technical. It might be technical, right? You might be moving your face too much. It's close up, and let's do a little bit less. And you know, but other than that, it's usually the great ones don't really give a lot of direction.
Is that demoralizing when you're working with a director that you don't trust and you're on like day 30 or day 20 out of like 40?
It's not demoralizing. It's, you know what it is? It's scary because at the end of the day, it's your face on the 30-foot screen, right? And so if you don't trust this guy, imagine going to sea on a ship and the guy who's got the wheel, you don't think could drive
He's like
the
looking
ship.
around,
Right.
doesn't know what the
It's like, wait a minute, it's
There's
your
a fucking
ship.
iceberg over there,
What are
dude.
you looking over there for? It's like, you
Yeah.
know, and that's all it is. And it's like, then you're like, wait a minute, I got to do this by myself.
Right.
Right? And so, and you got other actors and other people. I'm like, you know, then you got to talk to the camera guy. What am I doing? You know, what does this look like? I don't trust this guy.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't keep quiet. I'm a very vocal New York Italian guy.
Does the conflict ever help, you think? It sparks like some creativity or adds some
man.
respect?
At a great conflict comes great drama.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep them on the toes.
You read about those 70s movies and it sounded like everyone was
It's a
like on
shit
the
show.
edge of disaster.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Most of the movies are on the edges.
Yeah.
But listen, a lot of movies I made, you know, there's not a movie I've been in that was substantial, you know, whether it's like Warrior, The Gray, or Captain America, or, you know, there's always conflict.
Yeah.
Always, because it's creative process. And your creative process and yours and mine are going to be different at some point.
Yeah.
And we're going to butt heads.
Is your energy different if you're 1 or like 7 on the call sheet? Is it
Nah,
different?
man, it's, you know what, I got to tell you, if you're number one, it means you're number one for a reason. You have a responsibility, right? And shit rolls downhill. So however you set the stage, that's going to be the tone of the movie. So
Right.
I don't care, you know, when you're the guy, you have a responsibility to keep everybody's morale up, and you know, even if you have a problem, if you have a problem, you got to take it outside, you know. But it's fun being number 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
fun being number 5 and number 4 when you're with great actors, and
Right.
you know, it's a little less weight on your shoulders, and,
Right.
and you get to have a lot of fun.
Right. If the director fucks up, then you're like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, you can fuck with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can fuck with
Yeah.
them, and it's fun to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you good at auditioning?
I was okay. I
Yeah.
got good. I
Okay.
got good. You know,
Out of like necessity.
well, you know, after I worked with Nick Nolte,
Warrior.
I worked with Nick. Yeah, he changed me as an actor, and I kind of shifted the way I approach things, and everything kind of fell into place after that. You know, I had the tools, but they weren't necessarily working the right way.
Yeah.
And Nolte's just a fucking legend. And
Well-
the way he works is amazing.
Yeah. What became your approach after that?
Just to take the deep dive, like to really, like, look, anything you want to be successful. I'm sure you guys have read the book Outliers, right? The Malcolm Gladwell book. There's no accident to success, and you know what it takes? A lot of time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you realize, well, I'm putting the time in, but I'm not putting the time where you become Nick Nolte. It's not an accident to become Nick Nolte, right? He does the work. You know, I work with guys like Mel Gibson and Liam and, you know, Edward Norton, and these guys do an incredible amount of homework, an incredible amount. And you realize if you want to be at that level, or if you want to dance at the dance where these guys are,
Yeah.
you got to do the work.
Yeah.
With,
you know?
with Edward, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, it's interesting with movies and stuff. You know, you just see the end product, and you never really think about the preparation that goes into it.
Right.
Even in just like a small part, it's
harder sometimes.
It's hard, yeah.
Because you don't have an arc,
Yeah.
you know, or the arc is unidentifiable.
Yeah.
And so you got to come in there and really, without being egregious.
Right.
You gotta do your thing, and hopefully somebody will, you'll be appreciated for doing that thing
Yeah.
because you're supporting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you got the role, it's easier to kind of put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on set, the grit that you need to have just to
man.
persevere for. I mean, even just like
It's-
we shot Hawaii 5-0 for like 5 days.
Oh, you did?
And it was awesome
It was
because we were in
fun.
Hawaii. We loved it.
Oh, it's great.
But I mean, it's a tough schedule. You
Yeah,
know, we were
man.
up at like 5.
Oh, those TV
Done-
schedules
yeah.
are brutal.
You were on
Yeah.
soap operas, right?
When I started, when I was young, I was on a soap opera, Guiding Light.
Were you single?
I was married to my first wife and then became single during that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of like attention though, because you're so
Yes.
visible? Yeah. What's that like?
It's awesome.
Yeah. It seems like it would.
No, it's, you get, it's been a long time. Dude, when I was on a soap opera, I got a lot of attention. I mean, you get,
Right.
everything's got their fans. And
Yeah.
so, but now, look, now I'm a grown man and I walk around looking like this and people don't approach me comfortably anymore. You know what I mean? It's been like 10
You think
years.
you kind of intimidated people?
Well, I just think they think I might be a certain type of guy.
Right.
And so they'll look at, they wave from a distance, but, unless they're kids will come right up, but adults are a little more like, which is good, I just have to fucking look at them a little like, what the fuck are you looking at, man?
Right.
And like, oh, no, I was a fan. I was like, yeah. All right.
But you do look like a movie star.
No,
You know
I don't. I look like
Yeah.
a bum. Look at me. I look terrible.
No, you look great.
No, I don't. I haven't
Come on, you know you look
I haven't
great.
showered in days. I haven't used soap in days.
That's the that's like the movie star move, I think. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see that because I could see being intimidated, but you do have a warmth once you start talking.
I
to
am. I'm
Yeah.
I am. I'll talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And I grew up a blue collar guy, right?
Yeah.
And my mother, my father was, rest his soul. He put us through a lot, but my mother was steadfast. She worked 3 jobs, and she cleaned houses and she did these things that most people don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she did it and she took care of us. So I have such a place in my heart and such respect and a deep respect for the security guard, for the guy working at the desk at my building in my apartment. Like
Yeah.
I got time for everybody. And because a lot, the problem I have a lot of times with people, especially in LA and can be in New York sometimes, is that they treat these people like they're invisible, like they're there, like they're lawn ornaments. Like
I see it a lot. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it can happen easily because people, especially if you like have a elevated station, like people just come up and give you, like you ask for a drink, someone just hands it to you.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you
And you
could
don't look at
You
them.
could very easily just grab it and not look.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a saying, and I'm just going to paraphrase it, but it's like, I don't care how much money you have, I don't care what your status is. What I care about is how I see you treat other people, right? And so that to me is what I instill in my kids. It's like, you don't. I remember walking down the street. We were living in Chelsea, in New York City, and it was a homeless guy. He used to be right. And my middle guy said, he said, "Daddy, why is that bum always there?" I go, "Don't ever call him a bum." And I said, "Well, why don't you ask him? Because I can't talk to him. He's mean." I go, "Why is he mean?"
Right.
And so you start to ask your kids these questions, and you realize that these ideas about people start at a very young age. So I made him go and talk to the guy, and it turned out the guy had a lot to say.
The guy kidnapped him. No, I'm kidding.
No, it turned out he had a lot to say, and we wound up becoming friends with him. And we wouldn't walk past him ever without my kids wanting to give him money or give him a piece of coffee cake or a bagel. They would, if they went to get a bagel, they wanted to give John a bagel.
Yeah.
And so we'd give John a bagel, and he'd say good morning every day. And all of a sudden, he became a person. He wasn't just a guy on the street. He was a human being, right? And so that's how I am in my life, right? I have time for everyone. Until I don't have time for anyone, which is the people who are, I feel that they think they're privileged.
Yeah.
I got no time for privileged people.
It seems like you have a deep sense of gratitude.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I do every day. And I remember that, and therapy's been great for this, but I remember that every time I get a little, into myself.
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute, jerk off. You know, look what you do for a living.
Yeah.
You idiot. What are you complaining about? You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
It's hard because I've had a very nice life. I mean, it was chaos. There was a lot of chaos, but it was overall, I think I've had it better than most. But I still find myself,
as far as your family.
yeah, my family and just like, yeah, just and the way I lived my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's my kid. My
Yeah.
kids. You know, my son's 20. He's had a privileged life. He won't, if I ever see him, act as if he had a privileged life. So it's a matter of how
I try to be aware of it.
You
always.
should.
Yeah, and I still will find myself like, I'll make little mistakes and I'm like, oh,
course.
yeah.
So we all
But-
do.
And sometimes bigger than that. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's the human condition.
Are you ever like, because my dad used to do this to me. He'd be like, and he was a great dad, but he'd be like, what the fuck do you have to complain about?
Right.
And it was always a good question, too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, I don't know, but I feel overwhelmed with feelings and I'm pissed off about something.
But that's being
yeah.
a human being, right?
Right.
That's, you know, everything's starting to fire and you don't know. It's just, you're just emotional because you're
Right.
emotional. You're growing, your hormones. You don't know why you're
Yeah.
emotional. I, unfortunately, and I don't want to say anything bad about him. He's not here to defend himself. But I didn't have a great father. He wasn't a great father. Like, he had me when he was young and he had to hustle. And so he had to keep his head above water.
His circumstances.
Wasn't educated, right? So he never had a career. He had a series of whatever jobs he had. And so there was not that connection. There was no growth emotionally. There was certainly no kind of lessons that were being taught, you know, to us as children. So you're kind of like a bit feral for a little while.
Yeah.
And you got to figure it out yourself, you know? And you can go one of two ways. You can go the bad way and kind of...
Was being able to say that your dad wasn't like an ideal father something you learned in therapy?
No, I've always been really cognizant of it, and I'm not ashamed of it. And the guy did the best he could, but he didn't do a good job. You know, he was a little abusive, very abusive emotionally, and he drank all the time, and it was a tough child. You know, that's what my reptile brain is so powerful.
Would you guys fight?
Yeah, I mean, when I was 15, I beat my father up. He gave me
I tried.
Yeah,
and
no,
my dad,
I did. I
He
did.
and by the time I could take him down, he had aged out of my brain. Yeah, so
No, I was a wrestler, you know, and my father got physical, and
you double-legged him?
and I beat him up, and
Yeah.
it was bad, and then I felt it was the
Yeah, what
worst
was the
feeling of my
feeling?
life. It's biblical,
Yeah.
you know, and again, I talk about it because I want, you know, if there's anything, you know, where people are listening to me, you shouldn't be ashamed of any of this because you're a product of your
were you the
environment.
only one of your siblings who fought him, or
Yes,
was it?
yeah.
So
yeah.
you were
and
kind of
then
the
once I
identifying
straightened him
patient?
out with not being able to put his hands on us, when I was around, he didn't go near anybody. Like
Right.
He kept his distance.
What did your mom think of it?
She, you know, she was mad at me at first, and then I had protected my mother.
Me and my dad, we would fist fight, and then the next day we would like laugh about it at the dinner table.
Yeah.
And then my mom would go, "Don't laugh about it." You know,
Right,
to her
right.
it was like really traumatic, and I think
It
for
is
us it was
traumatic.
traumatic too.
It is traumatic.
But we had conditioned ourselves to kind of be like, well, let's laugh about it because that makes it easier to.
Yeah, but listen, there's
And then
something a
sometimes we
lot
stayed
deep.
mad.
There's something a lot deeper that
Yeah.
never. You know, my father again. Both my parents died suddenly, right? I never got a chance to reconcile any of it with them. So
Right.
now it's like I have to kind of figure it out
You got this. You
myself.
got this big energy around it.
Yeah, but you know,
Where are you gonna
I'm
put
like,
it?
okay, I imagine that it's not that complex because they weren't complex human beings. They certainly weren't complex thinkers. So it's kind of easy to kind of maneuver and manage my way through.
What makes you say they're not complex thinkers?
They weren't complex thinkers. They thought about survival. They really did. They
Right.
thought we literally.
So you mean when it comes to feelings?
Well, because if you're thinking about the basic needs of a human being, which is shelter and food and water and safety. I'm not kidding. That's what they thought
The
about.
lowest Maslow hierarchy
That was
of needs.
That was it.
Yeah.
They never got ahead of that because they could never get ahead of that because they never had enough money to be safe and secure for more than 30 days.
Right.
Ever.
So do you think all that just kind of unrefined energy, is that what pushed you into acting?
I think it's what pushed me, period. That's what keeps me being pushed. It's like I still approach every day, like I talk to my agents at CAA or, you know, it's like I just started. Like I have this energy to where, you know.
I could feel it when you came in. I was like, all right, it's on.
Yeah. I mean, everything I do, I go to the gym and I'm training. I mean, I'm training like I'm going to go back and fight. Like,
Right.
It's not like I'm just going through the motions because I want to lose 4 pounds. Like, I'm training right next to pros. Like I believe in my head, if I want to fight you, I can fight you right now.
Isn't
and
that
he's
funny?
25 years old.
I get that thought sometimes. I'll look at like a pro fighter. I'll be like, oh, I could kick his ass, and
Yeah.
then you feel them on the pads or something. Like, not
But no,
them,
but I
even just a
can.
strong
I can
guy.
fight them. I can fight them.
Oh,
Not
you
for-
think you could take him?
Oh, I can fight them. I can
You can
spar
keep
with
them
them.
busy.
I spar with them all the
Yeah.
time. So can I go 12 rounds with a 25-year-old professional athlete? Probably not.
Right.
But I can get in there and I can fight because I know how to do that.
Right.
But in my mind, the training aspect of it, I'm training exactly. I train with the pros because that's what I want to do. Right. I have to be at the highest level that I can be to do this, or I don't want to do it, right? So I want to be excited about it every day. I want to be excited about the next acting job, the next producing thing. If I get a script, if we're going to write a script, I want to be excited about it. I want to be firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find any father figures in your life?
Many.
Yeah.
I have. And again, I am a bit of a father junkie. So, I have found guys who, whether for short periods of time or for longer periods of time, that I looked up to, I respected, I asked questions. Sometimes I feel like I'm 10 years old.
Yeah.
I'll ask people, I'm pals with Gibson, with Mel, and who's gone through a lot of trouble in his life, and he's had a great life and he's had a shitty life at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm fascinated by him and how he's managed to kind of persevere, and I've learned about who he is as a person, and the
Right.
things I thought were true were not true, and vice versa. And I'm constantly asking him questions and looking at him as an older brother or father figure.
Yeah.
Still.
Did
How,
this?
uh,
No, go ahead.
how often do you guys talk?
Oh, we talk 3, 4, 5 times a week. Where I'm at his house, every other weekend. We're having a barbecue and stuff. And we're going to do another movie in the middle of 2020 together.
Right.
We got this other thing coming out, and he's Mel. Listen, and he's the first one to tell you he's made some huge mistakes.
Yeah.
And said some things that he regrets, but at the same time, he's not. Nobody is that thing that you think he is.
Exactly,
Do you know what
yeah.
I mean? And we all have
But
been.
I was going to ask you about that. Like, so with all that crazy energy that you came up in, and you're such an intense dude, did it ever like get away from you with like partying or drugs and stuff?
Not drugs. I've never done heavy drugs. I've never done cocaine, or because I'm always into sports, and I wanted to be. I was always afraid of doing drugs like that. But I've dabbled in other stuff. But I drink. I used to drink. I was with some crazy dudes, and we would get drunk, and we would be assholes.
Right.
Really be assholes.
Did you hit it kind of? Because I hit a bottom with like partying, and I was all fucked up with like porn and sex stuff too. And then I just it got unmanageable.
Yeah.
And then our stuff started to kind of take up.
And then you
time
then you want to
yeah.
make a decision what you're going to do with your life.
Yeah.
With me, it was violent. I would get violent.
Oh, you were throwing
I
down.
got myself into trouble because of violence, and being in bars and getting into trouble.
Were you trying to kick your dad's ass a little bit?
No, you probably.
Not that many
yeah, I
other
blame
guys.
my father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually my brother does the same thing. He goes, it's your fault. My father's the way he is, and he would fight. But I wound up, in a bad situation in a court and trial, and it was ugly. And that's
fuck.
when I said to myself, wait a minute, I'm either going to kill somebody or I'm going to get killed.
That's why I used to tell my buddy Ross. I'd say, Ross, you're going to win this fight. You're going to kill this guy.
That's
and
right.
then we're going to have to
and
fucking...
that's what almost
yeah.
happened. And that was like, wait a minute.
And Ross is like
I don't want to do
on the
this
straight and narrow
ever.
now.
Yeah,
Did a lot of
that's me.
maturing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You learn fast.
How'd you get through that trial thing? Like, how'd you get in a good headspace to get through it?
It was tough. It was a couple of years. It was a couple of years because it went on forever, and it cost a lot of money that we didn't have, and you kind of make a decision which way you want to go with your life. It's like, wait a minute, I'm not going to jail for the rest of my life, so I got to straighten myself out, because if this happens again, I'm going to get screwed. I'm in trouble.
Right.
And if you have the ability to hurt somebody, and you're not responsible with that ability, well then
Scary.
you're scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sober now?
I'm not. No, and I don't drink in excess. I drink frequently.
Yeah.
I just don't drink a lot. So I'll drink a
Right.
glass or two of wine.
And you're able to cap it?
I'm fine.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you? You know a lot about wine?
I do, man. Yeah.
Smell the cork and
I
do the
love
whole
it.
thing.
I love wine's fun.
What's your favorite?
Wine is food. My favorite is probably the thing I drink most is Bordeaux.
Bordeaux.
Yeah, I love Bordeaux. It's simple.
Yeah.
And you got a good crew of dudes, right, around
Yeah,
you?
I do.
How often do you kick it with your boys?
I try not to. I'm in the gym. I'm a gym rat, so that's when
You get the time in there.
Yeah, I'm in 2 gyms a day, and all my boys are in the gyms, and so sometimes at night I'll go out and have dinner with my guys and stuff, but we're all grown men, and you have responsibilities and work, and you try not to get too crazy.
Do you always try to maintain sort of a big social life, or how do you sort of balance social life and work life?
Nah, I'm not a big, like last night, my buddy Mark Mahoney, who does, he's a famous tattoo artist, Shamrock Tattoos up in Sunset. He's tattooed everybody. He's doing this thing with Paul Smith. So last night I said, my boy's having this thing, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I was there for a half hour.
Yeah.
And then I went home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a social butterfly like I used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I always sort of, because our stuff's, as it's growing more and more, there's more work, and I'm kind of more of, I'm trying to be more social.
Right.
Because I like lean towards the work side. I get so obsessive. I'm like, I just need to keep working and working. And I'm like, is it to the point where it's unhealthy?
Well, if that's the thing, but LA, it's a tricky bird, LA, because there's a lot of people not doing things.
Right.
And so you can be social every night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's this weird kind of nothing is going on for a lot of people, and so it's a weird energy.
I feel that too when I go out sometimes. I'm like, kind of like, people are like, yeah, we're going out, I'm like, to do what?
To do what?
I don't get it.
To do what?
Yeah.
To talk about what?
Yeah.
Or to talk about who?
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about people in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to watch that because I'm just like talking shit. Like I'll sometimes I love having information. Like I'll go up to my friends and be like, guess who told me this? And this other person told me this.
Right.
Yeah.
I try not to talk about people ever. Unless
Come on.
I do.
Come on.
I mean, not people that
But then
I
what are
know.
you talking about?
Talk about things. I mean, talk about other shit. I mean, I travel.
and
I
shit.
travel all the time. You know,
Yeah.
I talk about fighting all day long.
That's true. I can talk about that all day.
Last week, tragically, we just found out that Errol Spence Jr., welterweight
Car
champion,
accident,
was in a
very
car
sad.
accident. So his trainer. We went out last week to watch him fight, and it was exciting. He won, and then woke up to this thing today.
I'm sorry.
So it's. I think he's going to be okay. But a lot of my I'm talking all day to Joe Carnahan because we have 90 things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to my agents, talking to my managers, talking to my guys fight. So it's that stuff.
Trying to keep it high level.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm like, fucking talk about people.
Yeah.
All right.
I get scared about karma and stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm like, this is gonna come back.
You're
so I
good.
can't-
You don't really talk shit on people.
It's good not to, man.
I'm,
It's good.
I'm kind of superstitious. I'm like, this is gonna come back.
No, you're good. It's good.
It
Yeah.
dead ends me because I'll start and I'm talking about someone. He's like, yeah, that's cool. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, well, there's not much place to
Where
go.
you going with
that.
this?
Yeah.
And you know what else he did?
Yeah.
You know what else he did?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't trust that guy. He's a blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
It is fun to fish for it though.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
juice. I
When
like
you find out,
fishing.
but when you find out something really good,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh no, you feel like you got this. You got this
It
thing,
is-
and you're like,
yeah.
what am I gonna do with this thing? I gotta give it. I gotta show it to somebody.
What do you mean?
I found a
he's
$100
wearing
bill.
His wife's underwear to work. Wait, what? No, when did they find this out?
Well,
Yeah,
the thing,
when I start to hear stuff, I'm like, oh, spill it.
I know.
When you feel the juice.
and
coming.
people tell me stuff like that because I'm like open to it. So
Right.
I'm always like, hey man, like, hey, whatever helps you out. But I'm like, is your work cool with that sort of thing? Like, yeah, they should be, but are they?
I
Yeah.
know, man, it's crazy. And nowadays, though, I got to tell you, with all that's going on with Me Too and all this stuff, it's like I don't want to go out, and I don't want to talk about anything.
But
Yeah.
I think it's surprising people like De La Hoya loved to dress in women's clothing. And I think it's because he had all that pressure to be this masculine dude. And like when I was in my sex addiction, I like to be like humiliated by like these webcam models who would like, I'd have them tell me I was like nothing because like I was like, that's what I felt like. And I was kind of glorifying. I was grandiose about it. I was like, oh, I'm so honest about how nothing I am. You know what I mean?
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
So did you go to like Sex Anonymous?
Yeah, I'm in there. Yeah.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
not
my
supposed to talk about it, but I'll
my
say I
buddy
go there.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy goes too.
Yeah.
It's
good stuff. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
I'm getting more
swear-
serious about
he
it.
He swears by it.
Dude, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We answer some questions from our listeners. So I just read them real quick.
Okay.
Yep. What up, dudes? I have a very serious issue. One of my ride or die homies has recently been acting schmolish. A schmol is a dude in the friend crew who like is kind of a renob. Renob is boner backwards. Everyone kind of dislikes them, but you can't really get rid of them because they need you, and you kind of feel like you need to be there for them.
They need you.
They mean well, but they just keep being annoying.
Got it.
Yeah.
Every knob.
That's
So-
Chad's word. I kind of.
So what do you do?
This guy's Strider's
So
word.
what's
Yeah.
the question? What do you do?
Oh, let's keep going. Sorry. I need your words of wisdom in these troubling times. He used to be cool, used to rage, used to crush brews. However, since he started going to community college, he's been thinking he's hot shit. He's not even in a frat, so I don't know where the inflated ego is coming from. Every time I try to hang, he's not down. He always asks, what are we going to do? And never wants to spend some valuable time bonding over McDonald's Coke in a parking lot at 12 a.m. I need your guidance. Does he need to be boked? Every time we hang, he wants to complain. Like, I get it, community college football is really hard and demands serious focus, but I still feel like there should be time to funnel some brews. He's also super negative. I'll talk about something and he won't even respond. He just brings up how he's still a virgin and no one loves him. What should I do? By the way, love the pod, love the fire pod. Dude, I think you guys are both right. You know, I think him wanting to do stuff could be good for you. It sounds like you maybe are keeping it low key, maybe too often, but there's a balance there. And I think you guys need to find a healthy middle ground and just have an honest discussion about, you know, what's something that could satisfy both of your desires? Because I think that'll end up being good for both of you because you need that. What's up, Frank?
Or you both should find new friends.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what we've been hearing
It's
lately.
too,
People are
it's
saying
too
just
much,
keep it moving.
too much drama.
I don't
for
like to.
friendship.
I don't like to.
At that, I'm assuming they're kind of young. Just find new friends.
That's what I felt that too, because when he talked about how he's negative and he wants something from this guy that he's
Right.
not going to be able to get. I'm like,
Right.
this is just, he's on it's a
Yeah.
painful road.
He might be jealous of something else, and
Yeah.
it just sounds like they're not great friends.
Yeah, and if like our thing is all about stoke, if he's lowering your stoke,
Right.
you know,
So
you can
and
find there's always other
there's-
people.
But
that
what if
can-
they've been friends since they were like kids?
especially you should find new friends because you grow, you evolve, and you don't evolve at the same pace or in the same direction, and so maybe it's nostalgia that's keeping you friends. It's not real friendship.
I agree, but I think that shared history can be
Well, maybe spending time apart from each other
will help.
will help, like any other relationship.
They talk about that with drinking too. Like when you stop drinking, a lot of times those friends that you thought you had, where they just sort of fill that void that they're friends to drink with. But
Yeah.
then when you cut the drinking out,
Yeah,
There's
I
not
don't
much
want to be
there.
friends with anybody who doesn't drink. It's just me.
It's easier with giving up porn. No one's like, hey, he's not jacking off.
You know what?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
one thing I never got into. So I don't.
porn?
Yeah,
What do you masturbate
Interesting.
to?
I just get laid, man.
Oh, my dog.
Frank, I believe you.
I just
I believe
I
you.
just get laid.
That's great.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All right. What up, savants of Stoke? Just wanted to say that watching the pod today really gave me the huge amp I needed to power through the week. Seeing the wide oeuvre of vids and appearances you dogs have made this past year has really made me proud to see how hardworking my dogs are. It always feels so good to see your boys grow and make it big, and I can tell it is just the beginning for you guys. Sorry, I know that's pretty self-serving. One burning question I have though is but I appreciate it. How did the squad never discuss the moment Ellen burned Chad's bronze? I myself am a connoisseur of flambeing my bod as well, and when Ellen said those hurtful words, I felt a pain grow deep inside me. That was straight up blasphemous to hear, and it was disheartening to see that she put you on blast in front of all the lovely cougs. Chad, how did you deal with this heartless burn, his words, not ours, and what does this mean for your saute sessions in the future? Jabwow, Ethan.
Honestly, I loved it. So we were on Ellen recently,
Right.
And she said I wasn't that tan, and I take great pride in my tan, you know. And but I loved it, you know. I always love a good kick in the ass. It's like, you know what? It's sort of
Especially from Ellen.
yeah. I mean, you think you work hard, you think you've achieved something, and then people are like, you're not there yet.
No.
And that's just like,
Yeah.
that's just I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna saute myself even more.
That's good, man.
And just keep getting after it.
You don't really have a tan though.
Oh, dude. Oh,
Grillo. Grillo with the
Frank.
burn.
No, I'm Italian.
Another
I mean,
Zimmer
I'm
with
an
the
Italian guy.
Right,
I mean,
right.
yeah, I get like that color on that thing there. It's-
Right. He's pointing at a hockey puck.
And I'm
the
poking
wall.
at a black thing right there. I get
Right.
like dark, like this phone. Like,
Yeah.
So you to me are a pretty light, fair-skinned guy.
I'm gonna have to slide in here and throw down a major disagree. My dog Chad's got a premier tan.
Am I?
It's
is
the lighting. No, I appreciate it.
And
I
I you know, Ellen is Ellen. She is
Ellen is
the
Ellen.
queen of the mountain, but
Yeah.
no, you
I
know
think
what?
you know even the queen can
No, let me.
miss
I'm
sometimes.
pale.
Oh fuck!
I'm
Oh
pale.
fuck, dude! When you put it like that,
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Also,
yeah.
the size of your forearms.
Yeah.
What's
I'm,
up?
I'm pale. man.
I got to get out there and work. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate.
You just got to get on the surfboard more, man.
I know it's tough. We're doing so much
I know,
stuff.
I know. You
But I'm
guys-
moving closer though. I'm looking for a new place. I'm gonna get
All right,
closer.
get close to the water.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I come to y'all with a unique situation. I'm a college student, and recently I've reconnected with someone I never thought I would see again, my 7th grade girlfriend. We were each other's first crush, but after 7th grade, I moved away and we didn't talk much over the years. But now we go to the same university and live right next to each other. After seeing each other at the beginning of the school year, we've been hanging out on the reg, and I feel like there's something there. We super vibe well together, and I love being around her. Here's the issue. She told me that throughout high school, she would date these bros and lead guys on because she was too nice to turn them down and ditch them a couple weeks later. What do I do? I really like this girl, and I don't want to get invested and have her ditch me after a couple of weeks of being together. Thanks for keeping my stoke high, dogs.
Simply ask her. Just be open, communicate. Ask her what her intentions are, if she feels the same way. Make it simple. This is the problem with young people today.
Did you ever struggle with the ladies?
No,
So you just were kind of good at it from jump.
I just never did. I never had a problem with women.
Did-
But, I come from a generation, back when Lincoln was president, where you
Right.
just fucking walked up to the girl and you started talking to her. So there's not all this
Too much mind.
fucking computers and phones, and you're like worried. It was like, hey, how are you?
There's too many intermediaries now.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of distractions.
Too much mind.
Yeah, dude.
And you know what women don't like? Guys who sound like women.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
No, I believe you. But I think that there's more than one way to go.
Yeah,
about
I
it.
mean, but
I'm-
you got to listen. Women, girls like boys and men that are opposite of what they are.
I think I can do both, though.
Do what? Be a woman and a man?
Yeah. Well, because I don't think they're that. I think that there's a lot of crossover, and it's kind of
No,
like.
I mean, listen. You want to be sensitive, and you want to understand what they're saying. You want to listen.
And I know a
very
lot of
closely.
dudes who are like more sensitive than women. And I know a lot of women who are pretty tough and hard to
No,
like.
well,
yeah.
listen. Every situation.
Not to be like-
but you don't
Yeah.
want to not be masculine.
No, I think you got to serve both things.
You
Yeah.
got to be a guy, man.
And what is that to you, like, in terms of
To be
like decisive?
to be confident,
Confident,
right? And
yeah.
to be a lot of women, a lot of girls still want to be asked out. They want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm probably going to get slammed for saying some of this stuff, but
No.
but
Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
I think the problem with a generation is that they're a bit effete.
But can you be
sorry to say
confident about not being confident?
No,
I think you can.
you're wrong.
Well, you definitely
Can you
sound
be
more confident than I
confident
do.
about
Yeah.
not being confident? No, because if you're not confident, the confidence in not being confident is nonsense. It's
Well, I'm
bullshit.
just saying I've tried to be like smooth with women.
You're
and
confident.
I think I am, but I've tried to be like smooth.
Don't
with
try
women.
to be smooth.
But no, but I've failed at it. But I think it's been charming to
Be
the peop-
authentic.
Yeah. Well, I was. That's what it was. I was being authentic.
Look how
Yeah.
cute you are with your curly hair
you.
and your beautiful smile.
Thank you.
Like, just be cute. Be authentic. Be
I try
you.
to. I lean into
right?
it.
You
Yeah.
don't have to be anything else.
Right.
And be fun. You're funny as fuck.
Thank you.
Women love funny.
Thank you.
Right? Maybe you don't wear a burgundy shirt, but that's another.
like the
fucking
shirt?
No, I'm
You
just
don't like
saying
the shirt?
Wait,
Your shirt's
no,
ridiculous.
No, I know. I'm just
Come
saying
on.
the color. I was
That's
fixing
not
my
a-
car.
That's
I
not a
think I
better
was
shirt.
fixing
You
it.
weren't fixing it. Were you
I
really?
swear to God.
You got a little like
Yeah, I got
car
schmegma.
grease on
I got
there.
shit
but
on
that
it.
seems
Yeah.
like set up.
It's not, man. It's an old shirt. What are you talking about? Anyway, it's the color, the burgundy. That's my opinion.
I think it brings out my eyes. And
It
my
should be
complexion.
tan.
Yeah.
But no, really. Seriously, and all kidding aside, you just need to be authentic.
Yeah. Know what you want. Say what you feel.
Be you. Go in. Talk
Be
about
I was
your
nervous
tan.
that whole time.
What's up,
Talk about your tan.
dude? I mean, that's my go-to.
Dude, and to this guy, I would just tell you, dude, like, hey, what's going to happen is going to happen, but you still got to go out there and experience it. So don't worry about, like, being what happened to these other guys. You're you. It could be different.
That's
And
right.
just go give it a shot.
Yeah, and if she's hanging out with you, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a chance that she likes you.
And if she's got a lot of, she's not the person she's going to be, and she might be different than who she was already. So, I mean, there's only one way to find out.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe she's got cute friends.
Enjoy the moment. Like we were talking to our buddy Dan earlier, and he was talking about this guy who he could ask out any girl, and he'd get turned down, and he'd just come back smiling.
Yeah.
He's like, I
Yeah.
got turned down.
Don't
what?
let
I'm
a win
that-
get
I'm
to your
like,
head
that's
and a
awesome.
loss get to your heart.
Yeah.
Public enemy.
It's just
Yeah.
enjoy the
Flavor Flav.
process.
Yeah, enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to go out? Okay, no.
It's a ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Hello, chat. Wait, maybe I'll get a better one if this is the last one. No disrespect to that person.
Well, they don't even know who they are because you didn't.
Right.
Yeah, you should read it and then say that.
Right.
Well, never mind on that question.
I love you guys.
That means a lot. To
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah.
Feel it.
Yeah. Let me go.
Dude, I watched The Purge again. I saw it when it came out.
The Purge.
Anarchy.
Yeah.
I love those movies.
Oh, you had
man.
Brad Fuller on too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those movies, man.
Yeah, those are good,
They're
right?
so good.
They're creepy movies.
Yeah, my brother loves them too. He
Hey,
needs-
what would you do if you had 12 hours to kill anybody you want?
I know, it's such a good question.
Yeah. You were great in that too.
Yeah.
And dude, End of Watch too. Like, because you had
Oh,
another
End
one
of
of those,
Watch.
like,
Yeah.
you're seeing in that where
Little-
you're talking to the young
Oh,
Marines.
yeah. By the
Yeah.
way, the scene was added in.
I could feel it. I was
Last
going to
minute.
ask you that.
David Ayer came
It was
and
so
said,
tangential
"Hey, man,
to the story."
I need
Yeah.
you to say this." I'm like, let me see it. I said, it was different guys standing at the desk, but they were real Marines who had just come back from Iraq. And I said, get those guys and put them over here.
Yeah.
So I could talk to them about something. And we
Yeah.
started talking about Iraq, and they had just come back. And then we did that scene, and people love that little scene. And I'm like, we just added that. It was just
And the line, "He took my bullet."
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah. Good for you for noticing that.
Yeah, it was a really
Yeah.
good scene.
You're a
Yeah.
cinephile.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm confident about that.
See?
Yeah. So recently, the girlfriend broke up with me because she hooked up with a dude from work. I was crushed. We were dating for a hot minute and had all the plans, like supposed to go to Iceland and had a wedding to go to. That's a bummer. And now I'm just going to be alone, and I'm just so empty on Stoke. How do I fill my Stoke meter back up? I got my boys and all, but like the vibes aren't there right now, you know? Any ideas or advice would be clutch. Love the podcast and what you guys do. Always great seeing the positive stuff you guys put out. Big fan here from the Midwest. Best regards.
Wait, so what happened?
His lady left him right before they were supposed to go on a trip to Iceland and go to a wedding, and now he's
Oh.
going solo. So how does he stay upbeat during these great experiences when he's feeling in the dumps?
I thought you said she went to Iceland.
Right.
And I was like, oh.
That'd be a move. Yeah.
Keep yourself busy with the things you like doing. And then lean into the pain.
Yeah.
Lean into it.
Yeah, in moments of heartbreak, I've been like, especially because we're in entertainment, you know, I'm like, oh, this. I'm gonna learn from this. I'm gonna grow from this. You know, this pain is gonna be useful later on.
Right.
I'm sort of like, I'm grateful that I'm feeling this pain. You know, so I can be wiser.
Yeah.
And then
Dude, that's the mentality.
What's that quote where it's like, you experience heartbreak, so your capacity for love grows?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn a lot about yourself. And listen, we have a tendency to try to run away from pain. And I realized when my parents died this past year, I was like, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You can't run away from your pain. You gotta lean into it. You gotta live with it,
Yeah.
right? And then little by little, it starts to kind of go away.
Yeah.
And you put it somewhere else, and other things start to fill your life. But you got to deal with pain. I mean, you know, it's part of our.
Or it deals with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. I like that.
I'm sorry, I'm just
God,
full of
you
like buzz
genius.
phrases.
Let's make T-shirts.
Yeah, he's got quotes at the
I
ass.
know,
love
some of
it,
his quotes
man.
out the
That's
ass,
great.
man. I know. Sometimes I'm like, what am I? I don't know. Do I even mean it?
No,
Yeah. Is it just like punching a
Who
vending
cares?
machine? Yeah,
Sounds
right,
like you
right,
mean
right.
it.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes we'll like hear a quote or I'll read it, and then a few days later I'll see him like fire it off. I'm like, oh, you had that locked and loaded.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I'm like, I'm just waiting. It's like a good
Yeah.
secret. I just can't wait to let
yeah,
it
yeah.
rip. Yeah.
You're like, oh well, in this moment, Thoreau said.
Yeah. All right, that's the questions. What I would tell that dude is, it's all right if you bum out. Just go do that stuff, and it's all right if you're bummed out for periods of it. You're not gonna bat 1,000 when it comes to being happy. So just if you're feeling down, go for a walk, take a moment for yourself, look at the fucking sky, and think about this big crazy blue marble that we're on that doesn't ever make sense. And then once you have those thoughts, get back on the dance floor and rip it up.
Yeah.
What are you looking at, Frank?
I don't know that guy right there.
Yeah, dearly departed.
Really?
Yeah, we lost him. Yeah,
What happened to him?
he took his own life.
Really?
Yeah, he's kind of he
Oh,
is-
wait a minute.
He's a legend in these parts.
Yeah. I know that.
Brody
is.
Stevens.
Yeah.
Yeah, great guy. I didn't know
Yeah.
him personally, but I mean, I was in awe
Yeah,
of him as a performer.
Callan knew him.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's too bad.
That's how I know him.
Yeah. All right, Chad, who is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week. Well, first off, before I begin, I want to give a shout out to Noli Boy. He's just a loyal stoker, and he just as we give him a shout out. He's been following us since we started, so just want to give him a shout out. Okay, and then my beef. Sorry, my beef is with the Juul. Do you know what the Juul is?
The movie?
The no, the vape thing.
Oh.
Wait, is that a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
The vape thing, no. Oh, like
The little
Cannabis?
E-cig.
Yeah.
E-cig. Yeah. I've been hitting the Juul. Sorry, Mom.
I have too.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard to get away from.
Yeah.
It might be, I'm addicted to it. I hope my mom doesn't listen to this because she's gonna freak. But
What's up, Mrs.
yeah,
Ferguson?
but yeah, I've been hitting it, and I just wanted to be honest on
It's
the
easy
pod
like
about
Sunday
it.
morning, man.
It's so because you can do it inside, and I was never into nicotine. I was never into cigarettes. I dipped once in high school. I puked, and I'm like, oh, I'm good. But then this came around, and I was like, it's too easy. And now I'm like craving it all the time. And it's kind of like a ritual for me now.
But it's weed.
No, it's nicotine.
Oh no, the one I have is
weed?
Is cannabis.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I've never smoked a cigarette
You never?
It's good.
in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really could. I'd try.
But I smoked weed.
yeah.
I see you reward yourself with it after we do something like.
Yeah, it's like a ritual.
Yeah.
But it's nicotine?
Nicotine.
Why do that now?
I know.
If you're
And
not-
But he doesn't have any vices.
Yeah.
but at least smoke cannabis. It'll get you fucking
I never
buzzed.
really vibed with weed.
Not that
It's
I think you should be
different.
doing it,
It's
but
different.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's remember
Nicotine
that
is
you're
just that bad for you.
very on top of it.
What's up?
It's bad for you.
I know.
Tell him, Frank.
That's
Why at
that's why I
this
brought it up
stage?
because I knew.
Yeah,
you
you don't need that, man.
I know.
Get a
plan
better,
on
get a better
stopping.
vice.
Right.
Go to hookers.
I can't do that one.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're nice to the
No,
hookers
you
when
should.
do
You
go.
should vape.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
him get the hookers.
Yeah.
We'll swap.
Swap
Yeah.
vices. This way you have
That's a
shit to
good
talk
point.
about.
That's not the worst.
Yeah.
That's not the worst idea.
I'd be like, dude, so I
I've
tried
ever heard.
webcam and I got humiliated. I
Yeah,
loved
yeah,
it.
yeah. That used to be a conversation we had a lot.
And you're
Yeah.
juuling the whole time.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I brought it up. So you're telling me the truth. Yeah, no, but it's become like a ritual for me. Like after we do something, we'll
Yeah.
like write for a while, hit the Juul.
Yeah, it's
But I'm trying to curb it and stop. So
sure, you should.
yeah,
Health not good for you.
yeah, I'll get there.
All right.
Are you that guy with your buddies? You're like, hey man, you shouldn't be doing that.
All
Like,
the time.
Yeah.
Plus, I eat meticulously, so it freaks them out. So whenever they go out to dinner with me, I don't say a word to anyone. And guess what they get? Whatever I get.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you getting what I get? Oh, shut. You make fun of me all day. They make fun of me all the time since I'm a kid. When they go out, they eat what I eat.
well, you're Italian, so how do you feel about pasta?
I don't eat pasta. My mother just made pasta every night when I was a kid.
Is that tough?
I don't like pasta.
You don't?
It's gooey.
Is it important to you to like be a leader?
Yeah.
Yeah, my
I
dad.
follow myself.
My dad always told me, he's like, you're a leader, you're a leader, you're a leader.
Yeah.
And I got frustrated with him for a while. Like in my period of my early 20s, I was like, why the fuck did you put all that fucking pressure on me?
That's good though. It's
Yeah.
good pressure.
Yeah, it's good.
No,
right?
listen. I admire other leaders. I admire people, but I march to the beat of my own fucking. I never cared about what anybody thought and where I'm supposed to be or I just do what I want to do, and I like it that way.
Who's your beef of the week?
My beef of the week. What would be my beef of the week?
Oh, I'm supposed to go to give
Oh,
you
you
some
go.
time.
You
All right,
go.
my beef of the week is with and it was spurred on by one of the questions is guys who ask who's going to be there when you invite them to something. I haven't had to deal with these guys too much, and my friends who did have this habit have kind of grown out of it. But it always makes you feel like you're not good enough, or like the people at your party aren't cool enough. You always get a little like bit of an insecurity, like, well, it's me and Ferraro and Klimkowski, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I'll swing by. And they're like, oh, okay, so I just gave you the roster of the dudes, and we didn't quite make the cut.
Right,
yeah.
right. That's LA.
Yeah.
That's very LA.
And I dealt with this, yeah, and it's just like, you know what? You're either in or you're out, okay?
Right,
So don't
right.
be in if the fucking
Right.
you know,
waiting to see if something better comes.
yeah, if we got cool enough shit or cool enough people for you, just you're either in or you're out, because guess what? You're killing morale. Because then you come over and I'm like, I'm worried about this guy. I'm like, does he think what we got is
That's a
good
good
enough?
beef.
Yeah,
That's a good beef, man.
yeah. Don't ask who's gonna be there.
Okay.
Who's your beef of the week?
Is it who or can it be an it?
It can be a thing. It can be
Here's my beef
Just
of the week,
beef.
and it coincidentally it has to do with fake beef. It's Beyond Burgers.
Oh, dude.
They're amazing, right?
Yeah.
I have not stopped shitting since I've been eating these Beyond Burgers.
I appreciate your vulnerability.
And I mean, it's like pissing out of my ass. That's what's happening. So and
I picture it still smells good.
No, it doesn't.
When it's
bad.
you,
It's a
Frank.
mess.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I don't know how
Frank,
to
come
clean
on.
it up. My problem, my beef is this. I don't think they're being forthright about what's actually in it, the levels of canola oil and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're great. They're really good. Not working out for me with the
But I think those vegetable oils aren't good for you. I think it's olive oil, and that's it.
That's it, man. That's it.
And they don't, you know,
They don't tell
we're in
you.
Hollywood, so I'm going to tread carefully here, but I don't think they're like, oh, it's not beef, so it's great for you. And I'm like,
Nonsense.
But look at what they're putting in there. I
Right.
mean, it's like a million.
Right.
Or I mean, it's like
By the way,
100
I eat
different ingredients.
grass-fed beef. It's good.
Yeah.
Do you guys mind if I rip my T-shirt off?
Dude, go ahead.
I'm getting embarrassed with the burgundy. I'm ripping it off.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you're not afraid of that body.
I'm shirtless.
Jesus. Oh my God. Wow, that's
It doesn't look
Oh,
great on
am I out of
camera.
fr-
No,
am I
it looks
out-
good on
let's give it a
camera.
little
It looks
Have I
good
been-
on
you kinda
camera.
blocked
Have I been
me
out
there.
of frame this whole
Yeah.
time?
No, you're in there. You're in there.
You look much tanner on
What's up, dude?
screen.
Do I?
Yeah. Listen,
Chat.
by the way,
Yeah.
jump in the gym once in a while.
I'm in there, dude.
Oh, dude.
No, I mean,
Dude, my shoulder was hurt, so I wasn't able to do the weights.
I'm totally-
No, you're not. You're
I'm
not.
totally
You're taking me
fucking-
down, and I respect it.
I want to
Yeah,
make
dude.
you feel a little
That was a good
it.
uneasy
feel it.
on your
I'm uneasy.
surfboard.
I gotta
No,
sit in
I
it.
know.
Yeah, I
I'm
gotta sit
kidding.
in it.
You got a great body.
Thanks,
You're
dude.
sexy
Well,
as
coming
fuck.
from you, that means
you
a
do.
lot.
You got
Yeah,
a good build.
thank
You
you.
got a good frame.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. I think that's why I took
got
it
a
off.
good frame.
And I was scared. I was like, do I have the confidence
Look,
to
you
take
got
it
a
off in
narrow.
front of
You have a
Grillo?
narrow.
That's
you have
from
a narrow
Pilates.
frame, and you got just the right amount of hair on your body.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do have
Yeah.
good coverage.
Thank
Yeah.
you, dudes. I hope
Yeah.
I hope a lot of people who are just listening on audio
Yeah,
flip it to video
Flip
at
it
this
to
point.
video,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, dude.
It looks
Thank
like you
you.
have natural manscaping.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have to keep moving. But I could do this all day. Chad, who is your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is Kat M. This girl in high school or middle school who would give me hugs all the time. She was a little bit older than me, but she made me feel like, you know, like I could get attention from the ladies. When I was a young kid,
Right.
she was like in my brother's grade, so you know we weren't gonna date, but she would just she'd be like, "Oh, you're so cute," and give me these hugs. And I was just like, it was like this warm, fuzzy feeling where I'm like, I think I'm going to be okay.
I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Girls like me.
Yeah. I loved it.
That's nice.
So thank you, Kat, for making me feel that way.
That is good.
That was epic.
That is epic.
Dude, will you
Yeah.
take your shirt off? Because I feel like.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
Wow,
fired
this is
up.
getting fucking weird, man. Wow. Oh, look
yeah.
at you, man. You guys have similar bodies.
Oh,
dude,
thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah.
Well, we're good buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we mirror each other a little bit.
You
The
don't-
more
Yeah.
you hang out, you kind of mirror.
You
Yeah.
absolutely don't want me to take my shirt off.
No, you're a beast, bro. I don't want
you-
that. But you just
it's
hit a little flex.
motivation.
I saw you just hit a little flex on
I'm
the buy, though.
joking.
It's
I
a
saw that little flex, and it wasn't little. It sent a message.
Motivation, Frank.
Yeah, you're motivating me.
Yeah.
This moment's gonna
You
be.
guys are bananas.
My babe of the week is Human Dignity Stadium, just a super well-named stadium.
Dude.
Formerly StubHub and something before that. It's where the LA Galaxy play, and it's where the LA Chargers are playing this season, and they played there last year. And dude, look, it's not for diehard fans of a team. Like, there's more visiting fans there every week, which is kind of hilarious. You see the Charger player trying to get the crowd jacked up. I'm like, you're looking at all Bronco fans, dude. But it's a great place to go see a game. It only seats about 18,000, so it's easy to get in and out of. No traffic on your way out. Because there's only 18,000 people there, the bathroom lines aren't long, the food lines aren't long, and it's intimate. You're closer to the field for a cheaper ticket than you can get anywhere else. So I really enjoyed going there, and I think I'm looking forward to checking out a few more games there before they move to Englewood.
Yeah.
So if you guys want a unique experience, you're in the LA area, and you're not like, need like a Philadelphia Eagles kind of intensity around the stadium, then go check it out.
All right.
No disrespect to the Eagles fans, I love it.
No, fuck the Eagles. I'm a Giants fan. I hate the Eagles.
Yeah, sorry about.
Yeah, I'm sorry about it too.
But Danny Dimes looks like he's got potential.
He does, man.
Yeah.
The offensive line doesn't, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got him and Saquon though. You got a good foundation.
By the way, he's my babe of the week.
Who's your babe of the week?
Danny Dimes.
Oh, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's my babe of the week. I mean, I feel like that kid is he's pumped a new life into New York City.
Let's do it. Chad,
I
who
love
is your legend of the week?
My legend is Will B, who he had a gnarly ski fall back in 7th grade. I mean, this dude went off the jump, weight was back on his heels, and he just fucking flew. And I'm talking skis up, like fucking just straight up, like legs first. Crash landed. I think he broke both his femurs. So he was like in
Is he
like
little
biggest
now?
bones
Did
in
he
the
not
body.
grow?
how old was he? Or
Seventh
how big
grade?
was he?
7th grade.
7th grade. I mean, yeah, he's probably like 5 feet, I think. You know. And we're like, oh fuck, dude, Will, like he's gonna have
Picture
screws.
Danny DeVito, yeah.
Yeah, he had screws in his legs, and but he just was a trooper throughout the whole thing with the freaking body cast, you know, just powering through in middle school. And he's like, I'm gonna take this injury, I'm gonna be better from it, and I'm still gonna fucking ski.
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
So
Sorry.
go ahead.
My legend of the week is my buddy Greg. My roommate, he just moved out with his girlfriend. He's moving to Los Feliz.
Oh, he officially did?
Yeah, he's always been a Los Feliz guy. I'm happy he's over there. He's a great guy, one of the best. And he didn't even tell me this story. My girlfriend told me this anecdote. But he was at work and everybody was decorating their desks for Halloween. And they were doing big, you know, garish setups. And they go, Greg, you're not decorating your desk. So he just took out a piece of paper, wrote spooky on it, and taped it to his desk. I love
like
it.
that.
And he brings that same wit to our fantasy football thread on WhatsApp, and he has just been crushing it. Him and Robbie Cumming. It's a battle every day to see who's got the funnier stuff, and I'm just happy to scroll through and get all those little
Check
jolts
all
of
this out. I
fun.
gotta check it all out.
Frank, who is your legend of the week?
My legend of the week. Oh man. I don't know. I don't think I have one, man.
Carnahan?
No. No. Certainly no.
Liam Neeson?
You know
Yeah,
who's my
Liam.
legend of the week? Is my assistant Alex.
Dude,
Oh, nice.
nice.
Yes, because he is this guy.
That's a good legend.
He is on point. I mean, day in and day out, he never misses a beat. He covers my ass all day long. My calendar is perfectly fucking scheduled. This kid, I love him. Alex Rush, legend of the week.
Nice.
I love that. The assistants are the ones running this town.
That's right.
And they're working
Yeah.
their balls off.
And they know
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, they know
You
everything.
forget they're on the line.
Yeah.
And they got access to the email accounts.
Yes, they
yeah.
do.
So, you know,
Yes,
when
they
you're getting charged by the webcam
Oh,
model,
he has
they're seeing
everything.
that
He
pop
has my
up.
credit
Yeah.
cards. He has everything.
Yeah.
I'm dating an assistant.
You are?
A CIA assistant.
You are?
Yeah. It's tough. Her work schedule's tough.
Yeah. Those are my agents.
What's
Her,
that?
her podcast
Those are my
episode's one of our most popular.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
She's beating Tony Hawk right now.
Really?
Is she
Yeah.
beating Tony Hawk?
Yeah, she's at the YouTube, yeah.
That's hilarious.
She's up by a couple
I
thousand.
bet you she's really pretty.
Yeah.
Chad, what is your quote of the week? Guys, we got to cook too.
All
We only
right,
got a
my
couple
quote of the
minutes.
week is from Jack Sparrow. Do you think this wise boy crossing blades with a pirate?
Nice.
That's it.
Dude, my quote is because like I've just been like, and it's a cliche one, and like you can drag me through the mud for saying it because it's just like we get it, but it's Gandhi. Be the change you want in other people, dude. It's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
I get pissed off at people all day, and I've just been and I'm trying to get to the final thought of, well, what can I actually take care of? I can be better, and hopefully, if they see me being better, it'll inspire them a little bit. But that's all you can do because you make yourself fucking crazy just trying to control everything. So
Like
just
that.
yeah, Frank.
Don't fear the man who throws 10,000 punches once. Fear the man who throws one punch 10,000 times.
Yep.
Love that.
Great quote. And then we do a line for getting after it. So what's your line of the week for getting at? Meaning like instead of saying let's party,
Yeah.
this is like some kind of euphemism that you would say instead.
Yeah.
I didn't think of one. Let me see.
I can go.
Do you
real
wanna
quick.
go?
Yeah. It's actually just my review for The Joker because I forgot to talk about it earlier. I think just because the movie's weird and intense doesn't necessarily mean it's deep. And I think people are applying more significance to some of the scenes just because it's kind of weird and because of the commitment level of Joaquin Phoenix. And, I thought it was a powerful movie in moments, but I didn't think it built on its themes in a cohesive way.
I agree.
Thank you.
I agree. So it was a little self-serving, but
What'd you say?
it was a little self-serving.
Yeah, I felt so too. Nice.
My phrase for getting after it is let's scuff these vans.
Like it. I say let's crush the grapes.
Oh, dude, a wine fan, yeah.
Man, let's do it.
Well, I think you crushed the fuck out of the grapes on this podcast.
Yeah,
you
Frank,
guys
Frank, you're
are
the best, man.
No,
you
you're the
guys
best.
are the two of the best naked guys I've ever
Oh,
hung out
dude.
with.
What?
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for
Frank,
coming
thank
on.
you so much for coming on. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
You
great,
guys are
man.
awesome. You guys are my new favorite people.
Oh, thanks,
That was
man.
really
You too.
fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Stokers.
Boom, clap.
If you need advice, these guys are really